This is Dwarf Fortress, made by Bay 12 Games. This is the intro movie, which is made entirely in ASCII. Dwarf is digging in tunnels, and he looks through a hole and there's something there. Anyway, this is game. I was told to play this game and to review it. So this is I've played this game for 5 minutes just to see what it's like. But I don't know anything in the game right now because it's a very complicated game. There's options here. So I'm gonna pick the first one, create new world, and welcome to the alpha. There's some stuff that might be broken, blah blah. Okay. So you pick what kind of world you want. You can pick how many trees is in it, and okay, well I guess that there's no options for that, but tell us, like, you can pick different stuff in the world, like how many cities there are, and if the history is an old history or a young history. I'll just go with the default settings. Right now it's making a world, and we can see all the letters and stuff on the right, and the letters are all the graphics of the game. So on the left it's like doing some kind of algorithm and going through the years, and on the right you can see that there is land and water, which is the green and the blue stuff, and then some of it's changing, and there's rivers and towns and forests appearing, and some mountains up the top right hand side. The different areas of the world, you can see the name of them is the Elven Forest Retreat of Tolilasana, and the area is the Forest of Mornings. So all the stuff is generated, all the names are generated, and up the top it says creating new region 3 rejected. Now because it's incredibly difficult to do anything with algorithms this complex, the generator tries a few times to generate one that's satisfactory. So right now it has a world, and I can use the arrows to move up, down, left and right to go through the world. It's fucking massive. So just to try and explain the scale of things right here, this whole world that you're seeing here is the world that's possible. Like, I can pick any site on this world, and the site is like 1 square, and in that 1 square there is, I don't know, something like 20 by 20 squares, and then I pick, I don't know, 4 by 4 of those 20 of 20 squares, and that's my game world that I'm playing in. So I'm gonna press enter to accept this, but I can abort and try again. I don't really know if I'm happy or not with the map because I don't understand everything. So now it's saving the map. Right now it's generated like all these tribes and cities and civilizations and creatures and monsters and how they interact with each other and a history to the entire world. But now I have to play it, so I can play 3 types of game here. First one is Dwarf Fortress, which is the game I want to play. Second one is Adventurer, which is a roguelike type thing where you control one person who has to do these little quests, but that's not really half as complete as Dwarf Fortress. And then Legends is like this one, but it's got more storytelling to it or something. I don't know, I never tried it. So on the right hand side is the world, okay? The picture on the right hand side is the world. The middle side is the section in that world and then the right side is like the region, or actually, well, there's a name for it, locale, I would say. But so the map, the world on the right is massive. The region is like a smaller area, and local is even smaller. And then each of those squares is even smaller, and then your dwarf is a fraction of that size. So let me pick a spot here. If you look on the right hand side, you can see the tempers. Oh, it's called temperate ocean. The temperature, the amount of trees, the vegetation, and the surroundings. And then it's got like special things like shallow clay, very deep soil, aquifer, shallow metals, deep metals. So aquifers make the game very difficult because you can't get down to the precious metals to make weapons and stuff. And you want something like a flux stone so you can get metal, and you want an area with trees so you can get wood, because wood is important to make beds and other stuff. So you can press find to put into the algorithm, so it will search through and look for areas that are okay. So I'm going to put aquifer, no. Flux stone, yes. I don't care about anything else except trees, but I don't think it has the option for that. No. But okay, I'll do a search now, because it'll take a long time. The interesting thing about Dwarf Fortress is that it requires a really fucking powerful PC, and something like at least 2 gigs of RAM, if not more, depending on what you want to do in the game. Like, it's a 32-bit program, so even then, I think you're only limited to 2 gig of RAM or some shit, because the game crashes if you try to make an area too big. So all these areas that are flashing on the map, they're good. I'm gonna press escape to browse. So all these areas that are flashing, they're good areas. They've got no aquifer, and I can see here it says vegetation thick. So I'm gonna try. This looks like a spot, a nice spot. It says UMKH to move up and down, left and right. So I can increase the area, which I'm gonna do because it's cool. It's cool to have a big map, but you can't have it too big. The black area on the top left is where my playing area is going to be. So I'm going to pick this spot here. Press E to embark. Yeah, I'm going to embark. Now you have to you can either play or prepare for the journey, but I'm going to prepare for the journey. I'm going to make each of these guys a miner, because it's very important to have miners. So I'm going to make each of them a miner. And I'm going to make maybe the second guy a woodcutter. The first guy is going to be a pro miner. He's going to be a proficient miner. The second guy is going to be a pro woodcutter. Third guy is going to be he's going to be a carpenter and a mason. And the third guy is going to be a mason and something else. A fisherman, why not? These are all the jobs of the guys. So the guy who's an axeman, or the guy who's like a woodcutter, can be an axeman as well, because he's going to be carrying the axe to cut the things. And axes are very good because they act as a tool and a weapon on like a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna worry about the rest of these guys later. It's not that important. If I press tab, I can go to the items and I can add some stuff. Right now there's 2 copper picks and 2 battle axes. What I'm gonna do is add more copper picks, 5 copper picks, and because I want a lot of dwarfs to mine, because mining takes the longest. I want to keep an iron anvil, even though it's the most expensive one. I could sell it and buy lots of other shit, but I'm going to keep it because the anvil is important for making weapons, and you can only get, it's only available whenever, if you don't buy it at the start of the game, you have to trade for it, and that's just not easy to do. So I want to buy lots of seeds. Seeds, it's okay, they're not going to get eaten. You know, you have to make sure that stuff doesn't get eaten first before you can plant it to grow. So these are all things like food and beer and buckets and splints and crutches. It's important you have buckets in case anyone gets sick. If someone gets sick and is put in bed and there's no buckets, then they'll die of starvation, or they'll have no water and they'll die of thirst. So I think what I'll do is I'll spend a little bit more on plump helmet seeds, and then that's it. I'll just go. I'll save this as best profile, and then you can name the fortress and stuff, but I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna press E to embark. So you have arrived after a journey from the mountain homes into a forbidding wilderness beyond. Blah blah blah. Okay. Here's my world. There's my dwarfs running around the world in the center. Up here on the right, there's loads of information on how to play. So I can move around with arrows, right? That's fine. And on the very right, there's a mini map, right? Good. And okay, so it's pretty self-explanatory. It's straightforward. This thing here is a river, pretty obvious. There's tributaries into nothing, it seems, but they're tributaries nonetheless. Or maybe they're whatever they come from. It seems like the origin of the river. I'm not really sure, but let me see. So this is a wall. This is all wall here, and I can mine into that wall. Oh look, I see on the right hand side there's like a teal bar and a brown bar. I mean, this is pretty obvious that this is the height of the ground, because yeah, you can move up and down with a shift, a little greater than and less than, to move up and down through the soil and into the sky. And you can see the mini map there. I guess this isn't the best landscape to show you what the mountain looks like, but you can get these different slices of reality. So I guess what I'll do is I'll dig into one of these areas here, and then I'll dig down, because I like that. I prefer to do that. I guess something without any water around the area, because water is just shit. Water is probably going to make stuff damp and everything. So D brings up the I don't know what it is, jobs thing or something. DD brings up the mine thing. So you can select areas like this. All has to be done with the keyboard. Actually, I think there's a little bit of mouse support, but it's not really worth talking about at all. dig this in here, and when I unpause it, the dwarf should come running down from up here, and they'll dig in into the wall. So I want to put like downward ramps, eyes downward stairway. Okay, let's put a downward ramp here. That's 5 downward ramps because, you know, there'll be congestion. So I'm gonna make sure it's nice and deep, because that's always a good thing to do. What I'm doing now is just building like a stairwell type thing all the way down into the bottom, and then I'm gonna dig like the base, which should be underneath the river. Should be like a few squares underneath the water, so there should be no wetness interfering. Because if the dwarves come across damp walls, they'll stop digging, and that's fucking annoying. So right now, I know this is really boring, I guess, but right now I'm literally just digging into the thing. I'm making these little kind of hallways into this central area, and the reason I'm doing those little hallways is because first of all, if it was one hallway thin, then people would get stuck, because 2 people wouldn't be able to go through different directions. They wouldn't be able to phase through each other. The other reason is because if I wanted, I could easily put doors and traps in each one, and it'll force enemies to go through the traps as opposed to walking around the traps. So water effects are beautiful. This is underneath the ground. So this area here, if I go back up here and I press K and hover over this, it says it's a silt loam wall, so it's not so hard to dig through. But the lower I go, it's sandy clay wall, silty clay wall, shale cavern. So it's a rough-hewn shale wall here, which is very difficult to mine through by comparison. So they're taking a little bit longer to mine through this. There's lots of alerts down the bottom. You have struck indigo tourmaline. If I press A, I can see those alerts. And earlier there was people trying to fish, and badgers were interrupting them. Not that important. There's nothing really that important early on in the game like that. It's important to set up things for refuge and stuff. So if I press P, stockpiles, and I make a little stockpile up here, I can set it to like I guess that doesn't work, does it? Shit. Yeah, change settings. So I can set this one to like refuse, which is important. Because if you don't put things, dirty stuff outside, then your place will smell up, and there'll be lots of dead, rotten things inside your fortress, which isn't good. So I guess this digging area is comparative to Dungeon Keeper, which is a very good game. Right, okay, all my dwarves have finished digging. Right now this yellow thing up here is my wagon, and there's loads of materials. All the materials I bought at the start of the game are in my wagon. So what they need right now is they need some kind of bedrooms, and they need some kind of workshops, and the two of them can't be next to each other because that's just not cool. So right now I'm going to build sort of I'm going to build barracks on the left, and I'm going to build workshops on the right. Now they need to be 16 squares away to stop the noise, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's roughly 16 there. So what I'm going to do is put like a spacer of 3 blocks here, just to help me remember to keep like how far they should be kept away. So that's going to be all the way here. This is also going to be all the way. So the workshops on the right most of them have to be a 3x3, and it's best to do them individually because that way sometimes you'll have bad dwarfs come into them to do things, and you might want to lock them in there to prevent them from harming any other dwarfs. That's a bit of a complex thing now. That's they can get the idea to make a legendary item, and whenever they do that, they might start hurting people. Which is, if they don't get the materials they want, they might actually go berserk and hurt people. So you can't really have that. So I like to make these sort of, I don't really know how to explain them, but like these rooms that are 2x6, and the reason you want 2x6 rooms is because they take up very little space. They are the right size for most dwarfs who aren't special, like leaders or something. And each dwarf should have his own room, because if they don't have their own room, they can be sad. Just like you or me, if we didn't have our own rooms, we'd be sad. So I like to make these little kind of areas. Each of these rooms can hold one bed, one chair, one table, and then anything else that might be specific that you might want to add to them. So, I don't know, just making a little pattern here for the entrances. There's no need whatsoever to do this kind of thing. But anyway, the more that your elves have to dig, the worse stuff is, because this kind of rock is very difficult to dig through. It's not easy to dig through. Okay, so after we have a bed set up, the first thing we need to set up after that is some kind of food system. To get food to work properly, to be grown, we need to have muck. And the only way to have muck is to get water to be poured over an area, and then the water to soak into the area. The best way to do this is with a very simple irrigation system. I usually make these really big complex irrigation systems, but there's no need to do that really, so I might just do something very simple. The one thing I don't like about Dwarf Fortress is every time you try to build an area, the game gets paused, and sometimes I want my guys to work away because what they're doing is going to take a long time. Right now I can set up a meeting area with the X command, which I think is zones, should be. What is I is zones. Yeah, so this is going to be my meeting area here. No, I'll wait till they dig it out. Shitheads. It's always good to have the meeting area in like the main entrance of the fortress. The reason is because, or a barracks either. The reason is because any kind of enemies that come, you're gonna have lots of dwarfs on the ready at the entrance. These guys have gone back out for some food. They're all the way up. When they're flashing with the downward arrow like that, it means that they're hungry. So that's what they're gonna do right now. The other thing that you can do here is dismantle the wagon. I'm going to press X to remove the building. The reason to dismantle the wagon is because the wagon's useless and it gives you 2 wood. And I know 2 wood isn't anything, but if you're trying to not piss off the dwarves, 2 wood is a lot of wood. I'm going to go back into my little fortress here. Okay, they won't be much longer doing this. Right, of course, the bedrooms are not bedrooms with any kind of furniture, so we have to wait till the workshop on the right is finished as well. This stuff down the bottom here, these circular things, they're rocks. They're shale rocks. And we need shale rocks to be able to build stuff, so whenever they're digging through this red area, they're not getting any rocks at all. So I might actually be forced to dig some more around the bottom here to get some more rocks. But rocks aren't a problem really. Most games, rocks are never a problem. You usually have too many rocks and you're pissed off with them. But right now I'm happy to be in this area here, this silty clay wall, because it's good. In fact, maybe I might be able to build farms on clay. I'm not really sure right now, but we'll try building a farm on clay. Farm can go here, I guess. Shit. Sorry, I have asymmetrical syndrome. I like to have asymmetrical stuff. Or sorry, symmetrical stuff. What the fuck am I talking about? So that is gonna be where I have most of my farming right now, maybe. Let's see if it's even possible. It might even be a good idea to put a ramp there. Upward ramp somewhere here. These little beardy dwarves. This ramp, there's a difference between ramps and stairs and stuff, and the way that the whole Dwarf Fortress works is a bit strange. Each block that you're looking at there is actually 7 sections high. Oh yeah, look, I've lost the ramp. The ramp doesn't exist anymore, so I think I'm better off putting a ramp here. Upward ramp. So there's 7 sections on a floor or something. So oh shit, there's water right there. I guess that's a good thing. It means it's going to be very easy to do what I want to do right now. All I want to do is to get some of the water from the river above down, and I want to do it in a very safe manner. So I want to be able to go up there and put a floodgate. Now he's cancelled because there's damp stone, which is good. In my opinion, that's really, really good. So I guess I should make some stuff now. Press B to go to buildings and W to go to workshops, and then go to stone masons workshop. Mason's workshop. I'm gonna put Mason's workshop here, and I'm gonna put Carpenter's workshop here, and I'm gonna put what else? Dwarf's workshop will go here, and anything else I'll worry about later. But I'll see some dwarfs come in now to try and fix this up. There's one coming now. There he comes. He's picking up stones with him there, so he's gonna fit up the stonemason's workshop. Right, I'm not sure. Okay, it's finished, so I can press Q to go to this yoke here, and then when I go near, I can press A to add a new task. Well, what I want him to do is to make a floodgate, and I want him to make a door as well. It's very important I have a floodgate and a door, or else I could flood the entire dwarf thing, the fortress. So I want to BW to build workshop, and then I want to build a mechanics workshop because I have to have mechanisms, and then I need that mechanics workshop to build 3 mechanisms. So this is one of the most difficult things here to do. You need to be able to change units' jobs. So I can hover over a unit here. Let's go to this guy. He's got no job. I press B to go to labor. G to go to general. P preferences, and then L labor. I can go and I can make him a woodworker, carpentry, and then I can make him stoneworking, masonry, and then I can make him engineering, mechanics. So this guy can do all of the jobs I need, but I'll make a few mechanics, and I can always change this later. No one's stuck being one thing. The problem is though that they become proficient in one of these things, and changing them around once they're proficient kind of wastes their time really, because they die eventually. Dwarfs don't last forever. And you need a carpenter to remove the wagon as well. I don't have one of those, so I'll make this guy woodworking, carpentry. Sure. Okay. I'm gonna go back inside to the tunnels. This guy's currently making. He's made the floodgate, now he's making the rock door. So this hopefully will be my little plan here. It looks a bit silly, but you'll see it, hopefully. When something's flashing like that, it means a dwarf is on his way. He'll be here any second. So someone will arrive. No one's coming yet. There's someone there. This mechanic, I wanted to make him to make rock mechanisms, and I want him to make 3 of them. One of them has to be a switch. I think one of them has to be a lever, and then I need 2 to connect the lever to the floodgate. So, damn stone located. Shit, this is not gonna go so well. Okay, that's actually not too bad. I'm right above one of the tributaries, which is cool. It's really cool. He's a way up. He's gonna dig. Fucking damn stone located. Bullshit. Right. Okay. He's not really anywhere near the middle. How does this work? Okay. So I could probably dig all the way over here to the left. Yeah, okay, that's how it works, right. So I can dig all the way over here, up here, over here, up here, over here. I just want to get around. All I want to do is get around because I want the water to fall in the middle of the room. That's all I want to do. Okay, let's hope this works. We'll soon find out. Yeah, this seems to work perfectly. Okay. One thing to keep in mind is that dwarves can move diagonally, so even if it looks like they can't move through a spot, they can. And that's very important for sealing up cracks. Don't put a door next to somewhere where the fucking water's actually still going to get through anyway. Okay, so this is very good. This is very good here. I'm going to put a door... BD door. I'm gonna put the door here. Right. I'm gonna put the floodgate floodgate. I'm gonna put the floodgate here. Perfect. And what else? I have to have a switch. The switch can be. Fuck, it doesn't really matter. It's called a lever. Traps, levers, lever. I'm gonna put the lever here because it doesn't really have to be pretty looking. Okay, so let's hope that the dwarves don't get themselves stuck doing this shit because it's the worst thing. They put a floodgate down and they're standing on the wrong side of the floodgate. Okay, he's not standing on the wrong side. That's brilliant. Alright, so they have a door. Water doesn't go through doors. Water doesn't go through floodgates that are down. And there's a switch here, so I'm gonna link up the floodgate. You don't have enough mechanisms. Okay, I'll wait till some are made then. One mechanism left to be made. Also, carpenter's workshop should be making beds, and if you press R, it puts it on repeat, so he makes beds forever until you stop him. I'm also gonna press DT here to chop down some trees. That many trees, that's a fucking lot of trees. I'm gonna do it anyway. So the other thing, it'll keep them busy. The other thing is I will want to set this area to be a meeting area. So I'll press M for a meeting area. So the dwarves are gonna hang out there. That's all they do, they just hang out there. Alright, so I think I'm done building mechanisms. I'm gonna press Q on this again. Add floodgate, press the shale floodgate, pick two mechanisms because one has to be attached to each one. And that's it. I have to wait till some fucking comes now with a mechanism and he attaches it to each one. The stupid thing is that he doesn't take two at a time, he comes back for each one. And when you have a massive project, that takes a long time. Once this is done now, I'm gonna make a hole into the water between the door and the floodgate. That's what my plan is. Okay. Right, we have a guy who's making beds. I'm gonna put another guy making doors forever. And also gonna make him make thrones, which are chairs. And tables. Where's the table? Alright, because if you have one of those in each room, dwarves are very happy. They're very happy. Okay, right now I have everything set up perfectly for the floodgate. I'm gonna test that now. If I press P, pull the lever, the dwarf should run up and flick the switch, and then the X up there should disappear. Gotcha, perfect. Try it again. It should reappear. Okay, good. So now I'm gonna force dig into a wet area. So what's gonna happen is the dwarf's gonna come, he's gonna mine until he goes, oh, it's wet, and then I'm gonna force him to mine through. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. Oh, shit. He needs to go a little bit further, that's all. Right, down stone located. Now I have to force him to dig this area. Oh, he dug it anyway. Shit balls. Okay, guess I didn't have to worry about all that. But I'm gonna make an upward ramp here anyway, so it'll pour down. Right, okay, there we go. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So if I press K and I go over the water, it'll say water 7 out of 7. And if I go down to this area here, it'll go water. It still says 7 of 7. Oh, that's pretty fucking fast water. This must be a very high pressure area. So I'm gonna flick the switch. Fuck, I'm gonna wreck the place. I'm gonna flick the switch, pull the lever, and then I'm gonna go downstairs. And I'm gonna pause it whenever I feel that it's got too much. Okay. Right, water's come in now. I'm gonna press K just to make sure it doesn't get too high. 1 of 7, 2 of 7, 3 of 7. Alright, I might want to run up and flick that switch again, because by the time a dwarf gets there, the whole floor should be covered in at least 1 by 1 water. Or 1 of 7 water. Okay, shit. You need to run up, because they don't like 2 of 7 water. Alright, it's been flicked. Perfect. It's back now. That was very good. Of course, you can make yours much more complex with lots more kind of safety features in it. It's always good to have either a wide door or a very narrow door to either keep the water in or get the water out. I don't think there's anything wrong with having water pour into the rest of your base. I don't think it has any negative effects at all. I don't know, maybe it makes the floor weaker or something. But yeah, that's a lot of water right there. It seems like it's stopped now though. Dwarves can go through water 2 of 7 and possibly 3 of 7, but after 4 of 7 they start to freak out, and you can't build anything in water 2 of 7, it has to be 1 of 7. So let's try and make some beds, because I know this guy has some beds ready. And okay, he's only made 2 beds because he's a shit dwarf. But 2 beds is better than nothing, and not all the dwarves sleep at the same time, so it'll be good. It'll be decent. The dwarves will like it. So that's a bed. Little number 8 there is a bed. Let's check. Water's 1 of 7, 2 of 7. Still not really pouring out. Maybe I'll cut this wall here to open it a bit wider. Because the quicker I get building shit on that land, the better. Your man can't build anything because he doesn't have any logs, because some fucking dick didn't Okay, what next? B. Farm plot. You have to press U and K here. Okay, I can't build on it because it's water apparently. But you and I know it's not water. It's 1 of 7 water. It's still 1 of 7 everywhere. I'll have to wait till it disappears. It'll disappear soon enough. It's better to cover more of the area with water than have patches that aren't covered in water. While that's working away, I may as well do some mining. And what I'm looking for when I mine is precious metals and gems and stuff. So I'm gonna put a mine here. I'm gonna have the thing fairly low. I'm just gonna have like a 3x3 stair. The lower you go, the better. Shit, that didn't even work. The lower you go, the more kind of interesting things you find, like underground caves or iron or some other kind of precious metal or gem or even lava. And lava is very useful, not only because it's cool, but because workshops that need coal never need coal anymore, they just need lava. For example, the weaponsmith never needs coal, because coal is just another fucking shit thing to go looking for. What else? D, U, downward stair at DJ. Yeah, the problem with a lot of the areas down below are there's demons in there, whether they be like monsters or fucking, you know, dragons or griffins or some shit down underneath. That's why you kind of want to have it outside your base. You don't want it connected directly to your base, because if something comes up, you want to be able to lock your base down. You don't want it to get into your base. So, what have we found here? Almandine. This little thing here, that's a gem. So I'm gonna dig out this area a little bit more. Not too much though, because digging takes a lot of time. I'm not sure what this is just yet. Looks like a flux stone, rough hewn shale wall. Flux stones are stone that will give you lots of different things, and they'll give you coal and they'll give you metal, so they're incredibly handy to have. They'll make the game a lot easier. When you find things like gold or silver or any other iron or interesting element, they're usually in a seam, so you can follow the seam and get a lot more of it, so you can get a rough idea of where they are. Okay, so we got some gems here. Gems are pretty much useless. The only thing that gems are useful for are cheering up your dwarves a little bit and selling for lots of money. So they're money, really. There's money for trading with other things. You can't really sell the gems directly, because if you do so, they're worth nothing, but you can encrust them into items and stuff. You can get a gem workshop to do that. You need some gem fitter dwarfs. What else? Right, this is done here. So B and P makes the farm plot. You can press U and K to make it bigger. I'm gonna try and fit 4 in here. 6, So this looks like a good kind of farm plot to put here. I'm gonna make the... Right, so I have to wait till a dwarf comes and kind of fixes the ground. I don't know really what he does, but he fixes the ground. Also I should make more beds because now we have more wood. And you stop making beds whenever they run out of wood, and I think it's taken off the list. So it's... oh, he cancels that because he needs logs. Fucking dick. There's loads of trees here. Okay, the worst thing is I need the dwarf who has the axe. I don't know who he is. Luckily, it's only the start of the game, so he should be findable. That's an animal. I'm just setting all of these guys to wood cutting. One of them will get off her ass and start wood cutting. Whoever has the axe, because otherwise if the axe was lying on the ground they'd pick it up. It's that simple. Woodworking, wood cutting. Okay, maybe we'll have someone get wood now. Oh, 2 people getting wood because there's 2 battle axes. Brilliant. So I'm gonna set this area back up to producing beds. Nobody's gone and made the farm yet, so I take it that these guys, that nobody's a farmer. So I need to set some fucker to be a farmer. Farming related, planting, plant gathering, plant processing, farming. There we go. That guy's not a farmer. This fucker can also be a farmer because there's lots of shit to plant. Okay, he's away to plant this. You'll notice all the water disappears on that area whenever it's finished. The other thing I should probably do is get them to dig out this area here because it can be used for storage. And I can store plants and food here. Or whatever. Not really that important. Your man's not finished building the farm yet, but he'll finish it soon. There he goes. Okay. So each farm has 4 seasons: autumn, spring, summer, winter, and it's important to set all 4 of them, or else the fucking farm will do nothing. So autumn, plump helmets. Summer, plump helmets. Autumn, plump helmets. Oh, I guess that was spring. The winter, plump helmets. Okay, so they're all making plump helmets now. That place is gonna be plump helmet heaven. The reason I'm using plump helmets is because they can be made into a beer, which keeps them happy, and it works all year round. It can also be just eaten, you know. Okay, place doors. What do we got? A few doors and stuff. Oh, no, I don't. Yeah, you run out of placing shit pretty quickly, but that's the early game. There's pretty much no reason to ever stop building doors unless you have very little mined out. Let's go into our mine and see what's going on. Okay, not much is going on. That's kind of shit. Let's go deeper. Oh, that's crap. what we're looking here is for anything that's interesting and unusual. Really. That's very deep. So, I'm lacking dwarfs right now. Every few seasons, a new batch of dwarfs will arrive. We start off with about 7, and the first bunch of dwarfs that come, it's about 7 new dwarfs. The shit thing about me planting plump helmets is that my animals can't eat the plump helmets, so they're gonna die if I don't get something else. Probably just gonna happen. I mean, animals in the early game are not that important. Dogs are the most useful by far, because dogs are essentially warriors as well. They'll protect your entrance, and if you put dogs in your entrance, they can sniff out goblin thieves that are hiding in your fortress. Goblin thieves will pretend to be a human, and they'll run around, and unless you know all of your dwarves off by heart and you can tell which is the weird dwarf, then you'll never find him unless you have military, or unless he steals a child, or unless he steals something. So it's important to know before they can get away. And they're not very strong either, but usually after goblin thieves appear, there's usually a goblin ambush on the mountain or somewhere near you. And again, you only see those kind of things if you have military, otherwise you just get fucking attacked straight away. This thing isn't being planted at all. I don't know what's going on here, but it should be being planted. I'll set some more people to be farmers. Okay. I'm starting to wonder where my dwarves are. There's a guy over to the left, must be fishing or something. Maybe there's a few people mining down here. Nope, nothing. I'm just gonna save the game. Again, shit thing about saving the game is I think it forces you out of the game, so you have to load the game again. It's not that bad. It's to prevent people from cheating, because yeah, it just is. It's meant to prevent people from cheating. I mean, it doesn't prevent them from cheating, it just makes it a little bit more hassle to cheat. Because if you do anything in your game, you either don't save it or you abandon the fortress. That's how it works. You can, like, task manager force quit the program, but you know, if you want to maybe like do an experiment to see, oh, will this flood my base or something, you know, will this feature, will pulling the steamer flood the base? Man, these fuckers are slow. Again, I think there's a cheat where you can modify the INI file, or the text file, as they are, to increase the speed of your dwarfs. because a lot of this shit is boring. It's very boring. One of the very, very interesting things is I played the game for a little bit just now, and dwarfs get to know each other. And if I press V on a dwarf, and then I press G for general. Maybe I'm wrong here. Z? Yeah, okay. So I press R for relationships, and I go to one of these dwarves here. Oh yeah, look, this dwarf that I've picked on, relationships of the minor cog. All these people are his friends, and these two people are his gods. They're not actually dwarves in the game, but they're just gods that are generated from the lore of the thing. So I press V on each one. Edam, the gutter of Burns, is a deity of the joyous abbey. Edam most often takes the form of a male dwarf and is associated with the sun, the sky, the weather, nightmares and dreams. If I look at someone else and press V, all it does is tell me how many objects they own, I guess. There's a lot more interesting things. The thoughts and preferences of one of these dwarves. He is a faithful worshipper of Volal and a worshipper of Edam, the gutter of Burns. He is a citizen of the Joyous Abbey. He is a member of the Neutral Portals. He's very muscular. His sideburns are clean shaven. He's incredibly quick to heal, very strong and rarely sick, but he is quite clumsy. Cogliko Turvad, legs, sphalerite, bronze, blue, diamond, mountain goat hoof, the colour pale pink, clouds, and it goes on like this. A short, sturdy creature fond of drink and industry. I think every description has that in it anyway. But yeah, each dwarf has its own lore and history, and you can imagine that each city in the thing has its own history as well. Because remember, you can play this in adventure mode and you can explore all the cities yourself. You don't have to be stuck in this area here. Yeah, the mouse wheel lets you see the entire map, which is quite fun. Well, you don't get to see the entire map, but you zoom out quite a bit. So there's nothing very interesting on my land, just a river and some hillside mesa type thing here. You can zoom it very far. That's nice. Nice feature. Okay, these dwarves have dug. They haven't dug anywhere, you fucking lazy ass bastards. Alright, there's two. I'm gonna dig now. I'm gonna come down the stairs and dig. Alright, there he goes. So if you're going to dig anywhere for exploration, I recommend you dig 2x2 for exploration, 2x2, because first of all you want 2x2 for movement, and you don't want any more than 2 because it's just too much digging involved to get anywhere. So these two dwarfs are going to try and make their way deeper into the ground. Because they might come across a seam, or they might come across something else. Just gonna strip mine in here. Because they might, like, there's underground rivers and caverns and very interesting shit. So it'd be really nice if I found something like that, but they're really not easy to find at all. Okay, so the farmer is planting shit at long last. Fucker. You have discovered an expansive cavern deep underground. Right. Cool. The biggest problem here is that I'm probably gonna get raped by some kind of fucking creature because I have no army or anything. Okay, I don't see anything here, which is a good sign. It's good for me, at least. So, right, I'm gonna make a military right now. If I press M for military and I create squad, I don't really know, I don't have any armor here at all, but I can set these guys to be the squad. So I'm gonna pick, let's just pick one guy, because I have a feeling shit's gonna go really bad here. And I don't want anyone to follow me back up, so I'll pick the worst guy. The leader is gonna be this guy. Because there's no reason why. Alright, if I press S now, I should get the squads, and I should be able to pick the squad, right, and then pick oh shit, I just realized that the cavern is really fucking deep. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god, I'm going down. That's me going down. I haven't hit the bottom yet. Holy fucking shit. Oh wow, that's still not even the bottom. Oh my god. The bottom, it's endless. It's an endless fucking pit. Holy shit. Oh fuck. What am I supposed to do? There's no quick way to get to the bottom either. I have to dig all the way down through all those levels. Let me just check, right? It's at least 19, 20, 30, 40, 56. It's at least 70. No, 60. 60 levels low. And this is high. This is me going upwards. What the fuck is this cavern? What the fuck? This is like the mines of Myria. Whatever the fuck that Lord of the Rings cunt thing is called. I don't know what to do here. I guess. I don't know what to do. I want to explore the bottom, but I don't think there is a bottom. There's no quick way of doing it either. The interface doesn't really allow for a quick way of doing that. Okay, let's try. What am I doing? What's this pound sign shit? Rough-hewn cobaltite wall. I'm not really sure it's useful to me. This is prime target for dragon shit hidden in here. Dragons can fly as well. Yes, I'm gonna go all 60 floors deep. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm very, very curious. Again, this is why I don't want the game to be paused while I'm doing this. I'd like if the game didn't have to pause while I was doing this. I I'm not really sure, but I think there's a limit here. I don't think it goes on forever. I think the limit is... I think it goes to 0 and then it stops. Okay, let's try this. This is a really, really stupid thing to do. No one's decided to... Ah, there we go. Well, I've never come across a cavern like this before, so that's pretty fucking cool. But while this is going on though, I may as well build like a meeting place for the traveler guys, traveling elves. And some beds, why not? There's bound to be some beds made by now. Alright, no doors anymore. Tables, seats. Seats, put a seat. Let's put a seat here. Pi symbol, I think. Oh no, it's not. It's like dusting for making borders. Alright, what else? A table. Alright. Cool. Where the fuck are my dwarves now? Because I don't see any of them. We're running around the river. Massive cave. I could flood the cave. That would be a really fun thing to do. I think I might do that. Might rape my CPU though. If I ever find the bottom of this, I'm gonna flood it. Okay, so B for building, and then I want to build a trade thing. I don't know, trade depot. Perfect. Oh shit. No, don't build it there. What am I thinking? Ah, they can't get there. Yeah, they can't get there. I will have to compromise my security if the trade depot was to get there, but sure, it doesn't matter to have some weird looking head crab thing. If I get this far down and I dig over and there's still nothing there, it's still empty, then I'll go all the way down to floor 0. This one here. Oh shit, there's -0. Motherfucker. Well, we'll find out very soon. The dwarfs aren't building. They're not mining. I think I'm missing dwarves. I think okay, some migrants have arrived. The camera has moved me to a location where the migrants will appear, which is the side of the screen. But where are they coming from? Okay. Bottom right. You can see them coming from the bottom right. There's a few of them. There's quite a few. They usually come with skills, and the other letters are animals they're bringing with them. So it's really, really handy. It's really beautiful that that happens. Which is, you know, I think they only come if you have enough beds and it looks like your fortress can accommodate them. Have I started doing this yet? Yes, I have. Oh my god. It's a lot of fucking digging. All I want to do is see the bottom of this cavern. That's an incredible cavern. It really is incredible. Okay, so it looks a little bit busier now. People bringing beds, people placing them into the bedrooms. Again, at this early stage, it doesn't really matter if you don't have enough beds because they won't all sleep at the same time. But this whole thing with building, you build bedrooms is important to do that, to ensure scalability later on whenever you get more dwarfs. These guys are sitting around doing nothing, so I'm going to make some of them farmer dwarfs. And then I'm going to build another thing and hopefully get food for those horses and shit before they die. It wasn't really a priority of mine. So preferences, labor, farming related, fields, Peasants don't have jobs. These blue guys don't have jobs, so it's not a problem to assign them something. You won't be taking anything from them. These guys are, in fact, that's a beekeeper. That's a herbalist, and this guy is a dyer. They're pretty useless right now at the start. I should get a crafts dwarf working on shit. He should be making stuff. He should be making things like, oh shit, he should be making things like rock crafts, rock instruments, rock mugs, rock toys. You should be making them constantly. Put them on repeat. Right. The reason being is because we'll have loads of stuff to either sell to the elves or whatever, because we'll have diamonds to encrust into them or some kind of jewels to encrust into them later. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to dig out this area so there's more rocks, because there's not a lot of rocks at all. Gonna go over here to the mine, see how they're getting on. Still not finished. We're only on 50. Dig interrupted by bonobo, or bonobo, or whatever, some monkey. Right, so we have some gems here. We have some more rock, that's decent. Oh yeah, build another farm plot here. And I'll build this farm plot will have it's just gonna have different stuff than the other one. My plump helmets one should be the biggest one because it's gonna be the most useful right now. Actually, interesting to see if I needed to do that muck right now. I can test that BP farm placement. Okay, so I didn't actually need to do the muck, but every other time you need to do the muck. The reason I didn't have to do it because you can build it on clay, but you can't build it on anything else. Oh wait, that was the wrong thing. P. Yeah, you can build it on clay, but you can't build it on stone or anything. Well, I like to build my fortress a lot deeper into the ground than I did just there now. Okay, so it looks like they're digging. They're not digging. Fuck, that's annoying. I'm so curious about this, and like dwarves don't give a shit. Okay, that's loads of rocks. That's loads of rocks. I don't read the designation right. Grand. Go back to work. Okay, these two are gonna go mining into the abyss. Once I get to the bottom, I'll be able to explore it with one of the guys set in the military. Suspense is killing me. Oh. There we go. And the cavern still goes on. What is this shit? What is that? A pile of mud. What is this? Open space. That's what I thought. So some of the area has like bits of land connecting it, and a lot of it doesn't. It's just bizarre. I don't know what the hell this cavern is for. What's it for? I see how it works. That is the floor. That's the floor there. Striking a lot of gems, which is cool. When I get down here, I guess a lot of my dwarves will come and explore out of curiosity. I know that happens, and then they start finding weird creatures, and the creatures follow them back up, and then everyone's fucked. Autumn has arrived on the calendar. Okay, let's dig out here. Go. Dwarves have made it out into the tunnels. It's very interesting. What is this? Rough-hewn granite. Anyway, there's lots of gems here, so I'm tempted to mine out the gems. And, you know, get the dwarfs to bring the gems back. Lots of gems. That is the nice thing. They isolate the gems. The caves isolate the gems. dwarves are gonna mine some shit out. Plus when they mine they explore, which is always good. Zircon. I'm not sure how expensive that is or how much it's worth to other races. Striking a lot of stuff though. It's definitely good. Like, the announcements are full of them. You've struck this. Droutha! Interrupted by Droutha. What the fuck is Droutha? That's not good. That's not good. I don't know what that is. It better be some kind of rat or bird or something. There's red stuff here. What are they? Almandine cluster. Yeah, I still never got to fully explore this cave yet. I might send... I can't even do it, can I? Yeah, I might send a dwarf over here to mine this area here. Might kind of reveal a lot more about that area section. It's definitely a very weird layout of a cave. But I guess caves don't really have a layout per se. Seems to be like lots of... What was that? Oh. No, I thought there was an announcement there. Something important. Okay. We'll go back here and we'll see if our farm is set up. Autumns, dimple cups, dimple club cups, dimple cups, dimple cups. Cave wheat. That's D, should be. I don't know. Sweet pods. Don't really care, really. Just as long as there's a good mix. Oh yeah, can't fertilize the fields. Okay, I'm gonna save the game.